We're watching Nigel Mcguinness just absolutely tear it up here with Brian Danielson. Coach Rosie wants to know, Tony, does Nigel have a magic show in Vegas this weekend?
I haven't heard of one, but that does not surprise me that I haven't heard of it. He may. He normally does. He's performed some card tricks for me that completely amaze me. Now, I know with these tricks, there's a gimmick to it. I get it, but it's still amazing when he does it. We were when we were in England last year. He had his magic show, and he did some amazing things. Like he hypnotized Jay Lethal to the point to where Jay Lethal, one of or Nigel's assistants, he was able to lift her up, high above his head like this, and then he hypnotized Jay Lethal to where Jay could not lift the girl up, and Jay was like, "I have no idea how that happened." So hopefully he does. But then if I go to it, he'll probably ask me he'll probably bring me in from the audience and try to embarrass me,
Cut
which
you
is
in half
pretty.
or something.
Yeah, that
That'd
would
be
be
awesome.
embarrassing. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Wouldn't it?
I would love it if he cut you in half.
I don't know. I don't know. I've never seen his magic shows, so I don't know what all he does. I mean, I saw part of that last year in London, but boy, they love to pop birds, don't they? God Almighty, look at that.
By the way, in the write up for this match, one of the reviews, I read this. If you're so inclined, you can put another match or two above this one, and I will not mind. However, the thing that seems undeniable to me is that of all the big prestige wrestling classics, very few feel as close to a textbook definition and answer to the question of what is 2000's Ring of Honor as this. The only ones that do, I can count on one hand that this might be amongst the greatest matches of all time. So we're watching this match from ROH Driven. It's June 9th, 2007. It's available at the Honor Club, ROHWrestling.com. You might be able to find it on YouTube as well. Aaron Sheen wants to know, Tony, what do you think the chances are we do get Nigel versus Danielson at All In? Do you think there's any chance we see Nigel step between the ropes in AEW, Tony?
You know what? I never talked to Tony about that. I know that Nigel would be open to it if that would happen, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'd love to see it now, to be honest with you. After watching these, I would love to see it. So it's hard for me to say because I don't book it, and I know that Nigel has had his health problems, and I know he's bounced back from it. So let's do it. Hell, let's do it. I mean, they've worked so many times together, and they've been able to put matches on like this. Give them freaking 20 minutes and let's go, brother. I mean, I have a feeling, I have a feeling we're going to see Soraya.
Yeah,
Hopefully Jamie Hayter is going to be able to come back and wrestle. We're obviously going to see Will Ospreay.
he'll probably be in the
So
title match, I guess.
yeah, I would think that Will Ospreay would be. Of course, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the plan is coming out of Double or Nothing. I don't even know um, what the plan is going into Forbidden Door. And those are our next two pay-per-views before we get to All In.
I thought for sure we would have seen Davey Boy Smith Jr. last year. We did
Yeah,
not, but we have
right.
since seen uh, the Dynamite Kid's son, Mr.
Yeah,
Billington, in AEW. So, hey, I got
his
my
nephew.
fingers crossed for a cool little moment for those guys.
Yeah, his nephew. Uh,
Yeah, my apologies. Hey, Derek Zoo says, if Tacoma is Brian's last full time match and he gets the Sting treatment, who would you like to see him wrestle? Now, that is an interesting question. I don't think it would be Nigel there. I
no.
mean, what do you think? Will Osprey?
Well,
Brian?
he and Will Ospreay have already wrestled and recently. Um, but
For the
yeah,
last one, who would it be?
hmm, I don't know.
Okada?
Uh, Okada would be great. Absolutely. If Kenny Omega can come back, it would be Kenny Omega would be great. We've seen that before. Um, I don't know, man. That is a great question. That is a great question. I mean, no one really thought that Sting's last match would be a tag team with the Bucks. But Sting talked about this when I did the Sting Q&A at WrestleCon for High Spots. They asked Sting why did you have that for your last match, and he said because you know how I feel about Darby, and he said because the Young Bucks are just great guys who approach the business the right way, and I really wanted to work with those guys, and I thought that was a great tribute to the Young Bucks. Sting said it much better than I just did, but I agree with that. Uh, I guess there's a little tip of the cap to Ring of Honor that Nigel would be in it, but maybe Will Ospreay would be the one because they would tear it up.
Well, he's wrestled Will Ospreay once, and Ospreay won. He's
Right.
wrestled Kenny Omega twice. There was a time limit draw, and Danielson won one. It'd be interesting to see what they do there. I, for one, hope that if it is his last match, he gets the Sting proper send off treatment. Aaron Sheen is with us, member of our live studio audience from patreon.com/WHW Monday. And he says, what are the odds of AEW running a show in Australia? WWE has recently with huge success. I kind of assumed that this is something that's been worked on behind the scenes for a while now because we saw what the debut of AEW in the UK did last year at Wembley. I would think Australia can't be far down the list.
Yeah, I have a feeling because we do have clearance in Australia. I think we're on ESPN in Australia. I have a feeling that it's being worked on now. Now, I don't know of anything for sure because I'm not in that loop. I'm more in the talent relations loop. With the except, I'm not in the loop as far as venues are concerned. I know we have a very good staff right now that's working on venues. So,
I can confirm I heard it was discussed like 8 or 9 months ago.
okay.
It's at least been on the radar for a while. I don't know. I'm like you. I don't think that there's anything about to be announced, but
Right. Okay. We'll see.
there's
Uh,
an effort there.
yeah. And it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me that we go somewhere else in Europe
Right.
besides England. I wouldn't be surprised to go to Germany. Or I mean, obviously they did very WWE did very well in France. So let's see what happens.
Bryant has a great question. He says, to me as an ROH fan, Bryan versus Nigel was the next epic rivalry here. Do you think companies need these type of epic rivalries or do stars matter more for companies? That's interesting. Do you think that just an individual star and getting and establishing him over is most important, like a Hulk Hogan, or do you need those classic rivalries? I guess, said differently, do we want like the Celtics versus the Lakers? Is that better for the NBA? Or do we
Mhm.
really want a Michael Jordan? Just one guy and he's taking on all comers. What do you think of that? Do you have a preference one way or another?
I don't have a preference. I think you need both, and you obviously need stars. You can have epic rivalries, but if nobody's a star, what does it matter? But epic rivalries make stars, right?
Yeah.
And so I think you need. I think you need both. I really do. I don't know. Have we established an epic rivalry in AEW yet? I don't think we have we?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like you had some. Um, I mean, you don't think Hangman and
And Swerve?
Swerve qualifies as that? I mean, they
Yeah,
really turned the volume up, and
yeah, probably so.
there's
The
got to
fans
be some
just,
others.
yeah, the fans just want to see again. These two guys are just absolutely,
Yeah.
that they have worked together so much and know each other, and they're doing a lot more. They're doing a lot more high risk maneuvers in this one we saw in the last one, aren't they?
Yes.
As far as off the top and like things like this.
We're seeing some other things suggested. Britt and Thunder,
Mm,
Hangman and Swerve.
yeah,
There's been some interesting ones. I mean,
yeah,
Cody and MJF for a bit.
yep.
Um,